about that a little bit more later in this session.
So our performance momentum investment strategy is really based on short-term past performance. We're looking for what's moving right now in the marketplace that we can optimize on behalf of ourselves and our clients. We emphasize this because much of our competition focuses on what happened in the past in a way that we think is irrelevant. What moved the market 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago is interesting from a historical study of patterns, and we don't ignore that. But what really makes a difference is to pay attention to what's moving now. This relates to all of us personally because we do change and evolve, and that's a key part of Bonnie's work with people in life coaching is where are you now on your path? Where are you now in your evolution? It's the same with our investment strategy. We want to know what's moving now where we can optimize leadership, performance, and momentum on behalf of our clients. We call this active strategy active portfolio enhancement. And again, it does work with motion, what's moving in the marketplace in terms of what's winning and what's losing. And we've done many seminars and webinars about our performance momentum strategy in great detail, but I think the most important thing about it is that we move towards what's winning in the marketplace and we avoid what's losing. A lot of our competition, which practices rebalancing, will do just the opposite. They sell off their winners and they buy more of their losers. We think we have a superior system. So I want to interject resolutions and goals for 2010 here. If you have a little bit more understanding of what we're meaning by momentum, what we recommend for resolution and goal for 2010 is to pay attention to what gives you momentum. This year, right now, this January, what moves you? What gives you momentum? Manage and nurture your momentum in 2010. So where are we seeing momentum right now in the marketplace? Generally, international markets are showing much greater leadership and motion than we're seeing in the United States, although the United States is doing pretty well for itself. Last year in 2009, the Morgan Stanley International Index had a gain of 32.5%. That was better than the U.S. market, which was up 26.5%. So that's just one example of current momentum that we're optimizing on behalf of our clients. Another area that's showing very strong momentum is the technology sector. In this type of economy where efficiency and productivity become more and more important, technology is experiencing a lot of very positive momentum. The NASDAQ, which is the best proxy for the technology sector, was up 43.9% in 2009. I'd like to make the point, too, as we talk about winners and losers and avoiding losers and going with winners. In the history of Bell Investment Advisors, in year 2000, our discipline in our momentum strategy showed us that technology was certainly losing momentum, and we sold out of our technology positions before the end of 2000. This helped us make money in 2001 for our clients, even though the market was still in a steep decline. So technology is an example of momentum that goes positive and negative, and we want to pay attention to that in our investment strategy. So I want to integrate a little bit here about financial planning and how that relates to momentum. One of the key things about our financial planning offer is that it helps determine, what does your situation and location really mean? What does it tell you about your capacity? Now, this downturn that we all went through, it started in 2007 and finally bottomed on March 9th of 2009, certainly derailed a lot of retirement plans. But how much did it derail them? In our work with clients, particularly in the planning area, we specify that for you. We make it real. We ground what does it mean. And many of the clients that we're meeting with now, their plans are only about 10% off track in many cases. So planning just helps ground where you are you located. It takes a lot of the pain and uncertainty out of reading the headlines. The unemployment rate can cause a great deal of anxiety. So planning is an expression of reality. This is what our performance momentum strategy has produced for the past 11 years. This chart covers net of fees. I want to make that point that this is net of fees, that our average account has more than doubled in the past 11 years by paying attention to what's producing a winning momentum and what's producing a losing momentum and integrating that into a strategy. You can see here that we've outperformed the S&P 500 index by more than 10 times. The S&P 500 index is only up 10% for the same period. We've more than doubled the performance of the international index, which is up 48.9%. So we're extremely proud of these results, and it's a great example of what can be produced by paying attention to momentum. Bonnie?
So keeping with the theme that we're focusing on today, these are questions that you'll see in front of you that I consider the best ones to visit and revisit, because the fact is that people evolve, careers evolve, lives evolve, times and situations change. This is the reality of how we live. But often people don't pay attention. Often people are in a losing job, we'll say, something that makes them very unhappy. It's not working, but they stay because that momentum has begun. It's not a way to maintain or develop what you consider a good life to be, which would include a career that you're excited about and that's working for you. So these are questions that I hope you'll remember and ask yourself frequently. It takes some of the psychology out of what's happening in your situation. It's more like, as grown-ups, we need to look at our situation, look at what's working, what's not, what's missing, what else, and what now. I think these are wonderful questions for the new year. Kind of getting away from the goal and resolution thinking, which is often black and white. It's often you're going to overcome some lifelong issue that's been hard for you, rather than looking at what's working, what's not, what's missing, what else, what now. So that means also consciously enriching your life. How about a New Year's resolution that you're going to be with people you care about more, or that you're going to play more golf, or that you're going to do something that you want to do, which could take care of a lot of areas of your life that aren't working. Also, what's missing? We evolve. So if there are things missing in our lives, we can pay attention to what they are and add them. Or if we think about, this is pretty good, but what would be better, or what do I do now, is a question to answer that can really make a difference in the trends in your life. Jim and I are both lifelong learners. We've evolved and developed. We're always learning. I started out as a social worker. I was a mental health counselor. I was a small business owner. I went back to school, got 2 different graduate degrees. All of this contributed to the power and momentum in my life, which has me living a very full, rich life.
So in integrating financial planning with the work that Bonnie does around a good life, one of the most important aspects of that is understanding where are you now? What is the capacity that you have now to fulfill what you want to do? And where do you want to be in the future? That's where time horizon comes in. The way I think about this is you can't experience momentum without knowing your location. You can't experience momentum unless you know where you are on the path. What are the obstacles and the assets on your path that can help you get to a place in the future where you want to be? And what does your current location really mean in terms of your capacity to do what's important to you? This is what planning helps to accomplish, and Bonnie and I have been working very closely together with many clients to match up your dreams and ideals and aspirations with grounded, real assessments of what your capacity is now. Very important question in retirement planning or capacity assessments is how much is enough? How much do you really need to accomplish what you accomplish, what you want to accomplish? And we certainly know that investments don't go in a straight line. We've experienced a lot of volatility in the last couple of years. Fortunately, that is normalizing in the current market, and we're grateful for that, grateful for the recovery. But in our planning function, we stress test that question, how much is enough? We throw many variables at a financial plan to ground how real it is. What's the probability of success? That's been a very important aspect of the planning that we do. Bonnie?
I think it's unusual for people to think of their lives as one thing, but that is actually what it is. We lead one life. We don't separate out or fragment. Over here's my professional life, over here's my personal life, over here my finances. So while it's kind of innovative to think of